Alright guys, Crim here, and I hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. Skyz is now officially a player for OpTic Texas. After all the talk yesterday with Kenny officially getting dropped, Skyz is indeed the man that will come in to replace Kenny for the upcoming tournament in Texas. Will he be able to have the impact in the short term? How's it going to work with Dashy from an AR perspective? These are the big questions that are currently going around. But also Pred and even Scrappy giving their perspective on the Kenny situation. Pred talking about the matchups that OpTic are just about to play this upcoming weekend. And then also Scrappy suggesting that while Kenny, yes, he had a bad couple of months, that does not take away from his career. But in this particular moment, have OpTic made the right call? Very much interested to your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. Recording this video slightly later in the day than I usually would, because this morning we had a little breakfast date over at the Frisco Diner. You know, I just tweeted this out because there was that clip that going around the other day where Ben J was on the Scrap Time show kind of saying that, you know, if I keep making videos about OpTic, it's going to affect access and, you know, blacklisting and stuff like this. Look, I love Ben, no issues there, but, you know, I just thought I'd do this tweet to make it clear that, no, everything is all good. And, yeah, we had a great time. Thanks to Hector for the meal this morning at, obviously, a pretty famous spot in the COD scene. I know everyone wants to know, steak dinner, when's it happening, what's going on there? Look, the reality is, on these event weeks, it becomes increasingly challenging. I think, you know, it certainly is going to happen, whether getting the exact dates and time and the logistics locked down. But yeah, this was a step towards that. Let's just put it that way. Before we go any further, I did just want to comment on this from yesterday. I thought it was kind of interesting. So Crim was responding to this tweet. Neptune, of course, and Crim have a bit of history back to the Subliners days when, well, it wasn't exactly going to plan, let's say. And Neptune was given the perspective that he doesn't feel like he's been playing that well as of late. And I think Neptune, look, when he first came into Surge was unbelievable, and he's still been very good. But I think Nep recognises that he's not, you know, not quite being as impactful as he would like to be. And Nep says, yeah, I've got to work hard. I've got to try and get back to where I know I can be. And I think it's good for a player like Neptune to be of the opinion that even if the team is winning and doing quite well, if he's not playing at the level that he knows he can, then he's never going to be fully satisfied. And look, I don't know if Crim6 feels this is a mentality that Neptune kind of picked up from their days together, because obviously things weren't great on that Subliners team in Vanguard, and Neptune since then has, you know, been struggling really to get back into the league a lot of the time. But Crim6 makes the point pretty clear that, yeah, love this new mentality, and maybe there's a little bit of that Crim6 mentality into Neptune now, which is potentially a scary thing for the rest of the league. These were the stats for the qualifiers, by the way, and also the minor as well. Actually, I've clicked on Major 2 here, so let me just include the minor real quick. But, you know, just wanted to have a look at some of the numbers here, because see where Neptune is. He's currently sitting 13th with a 1.06 overall, but in terms of Slayer rating, he's right up there at, you know, where is he? Number 3 in the league during the stage. It's HyDra, it's JoeDeceives, Scraps right there. But, you know, Neptune is expected right in the mix in terms of what you might consider some sort of an impact metric, if that's the way you want to look at things. This I thought was pretty interesting as well. So the Intel CDL guys, if you guys are coming to the venue on Friday, there's going to be a welcome party at the Goats Arena Sports Banquet, which I'm pretty sure is right around the corner from the venue. So basically, after the matches are done, this is where a lot's going to be happening. So hopefully more of this to come, because, you know, everything's bigger in Texas, baby. There's so much space and room to make these type of things happen. And around the event venue itself, there's, you know, lots to do. It's not, you know, Allen's not downtown Dallas, but there's plenty of places and bars to go and visit, right? It's been good fun here. Actually, really good fun being here over the last couple of days. This is a confirmation of just a couple of hours ago that Skyz is officially gone from the Los Angeles Grillers Gentlemates, and well, we can have a look at that right about here. So they say farewell. It's been very interesting with Skyz. He started the season, I mean, he wasn't horrifically bad, but he wasn't great at all. They played around with dropping him and Priestahh, and, you know, they played around with a couple of things. None of these really went to plan, and he's now officially released in the team. It could work out well for both parties in the sense that it gets him off their books, as it were. I think they were going to terminate his contract anyway, but it does mean that, you know, OpTic pick him up. Skyz goes over there. Guerrillas no longer have to worry about paying for his salary and this type of stuff. And, like, is it going to be a great move for Guerrillas in the longer term? Their roster is still cooked, as we full well know. And here's Scrappy going for some serious impressions. So OpTic's new 4th today at the facility. Shotzzy, you will not believe who it is. And Attach says in the replies, bro, it's all over Twitter already. It's rumored to be Skyz, which is most likely true since Gentleman's just announced his departure. That's what I thought until I seen who I saw, right? So, you know, it's all going on the timeline. And basically, just as of recording this video, OpTic have officially made the confirmation that Skyz is in. They did this, I thought it was pretty legendary, actually. They put roster update, and of course, this is Scrappy on the thumbnail. And they were like, newest member of OpTic, what's going on there? And then, of course, they confirmed that indeed it is Skyz coming into the roster. And they, you know, they got a little bit of content going on this one. So yeah, Skyz is in the team now. It's officially, you know, it's obviously it's been made official. I'm sure we'll discuss more in the coming days as in, you know, whether this is going to work out, whether there's enough time for this to, you know, really make some substantial progress and change to the starting lineup. But yeah, the way that this works as a team dynamic is going to be very interesting. Skyz is, you know, a vibes guy. Not just a vibes guy, obviously a talented player, world champion for a very good reason. But he is good vibes. He will get on well with Shotzzy. I think it will help to turn around some of their culture. Not even culture, right? But just chemistry, really. Just making the vibe in the room a little bit better. Not to say Kenny couldn't do that. Obviously, he could. But with him not playing well, it was impossible, I think, for the team to feel good about themselves on some level. Whereas with Skyz, I think that may well turn around. But, you know, they're going to turn up to the major in a couple of days and potentially play one series. Or not, if Skyz can have some instant impact. Pred was turning the stream on last night. A few entertaining clips I wanted to share of that here in just a second. There was some other stuff going on there as well, such as this, with Pred taking his new teammate hostage. Just to mention for you guys, this map is Bounty, right? I mean, they added it alongside that other map with the cars on it, the dealership, wasn't it, a while ago. I think everyone is hoping for some sort of change to the map pool after the major, and I think Bounty by many was considered to be a map that was a bit too chaotic to be viable. But I do see 8s happening on it a lot of the time. So I'm imagining that it's at least going to be in the conversation after the major is over about potentially going into, you know, the actual map pool in the CDL. There's talk about rewinds. There's talk about other things as well. But yeah, the fact that Pred comes up behind his future teammate in Skyz and starts taking names was maybe a sign of things to come, I don't know, for the rest of the season.
Oh, wait, I'm brain dead. I thought Thieves Breach go to LAG. But they go to Heretics, right? Thieves breaches Heretics. That's an unfortunate pool. Wait, because isn't Thieves #1 seed, right? So wouldn't Thieves play the 12th seed? Isn't Gorillas the 12th seed? So like, doesn't it go like this? Like Thieves go here, Ravens go here. Am I tweaking? Oh, so we play Rocker or FaZe. 100%. Okay, so we play boom, Rocker or FaZe, and then if we win, we'll play. Who do we play if we win? Ultra New York, so Ultra New York or LAG. And then it flips, right? And then whoever loses between Ravens, Surge, Breach, we play to get to Sunday. So we have to play Rocker or FaZe, C9, Ultra, LAG, Ravens, Thieves. Okay, Breach. Okay, bet. Alright. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really fucking matter which one we have. At the end of the day, honestly, it doesn't matter.
Nah, y'all do be forgetting, though. Like, I can't lie. I feel like some people are making these past couple months, like, overshadow his whole career. And that's a bit weird. That's a bit weird. Some people. I'm not saying all. Like, the people, like, bro, no pro, I promise you, is like thinking about Ken these past 2 months and being and just like thinking he's just been asked his whole career. No one's thinking that. I promise you. The only people that are thinking that are just actually just brain dead.
So Pred was having a look at the bracket, working out who they're going to play, as we discussed yesterday. FaZe or Rocker is, well, it can only be one of those two, and Rocker is the most likely scenario. I thought what he said at the end was pretty funny, right? Because I think what he means is, doesn't matter who we play, we just got to lock in. If we play our game, we're going to be able to get the win. Now, look, even if OpTic play their absolute best stuff, can they beat FaZe if FaZe play their best stuff? Not as far as I'm concerned right now. Rocker is for sure beatable. FaZe is going to be a challenge. Like, the thing is, if FaZe do lose to Rocker, do FaZe ever come top 12? Like, it just doesn't really happen. And FaZe aren't losing to Rocker, let's be real. That's more than likely anyway. They're just too good at executing, typically in those type of series. The thing is, though, with Pred's take is that the way that you could also read this, and some people were reading it this way in the replies, was like, oh, it doesn't matter because they're going to get smoked anyway. They're going to get a couple of days of practice, turn up to the home event. But, you know, the drums, assuming they come out, the ring ceremony is going to bring the energy. It's obviously a big talking point this weekend. It is, again, the talking point in Call of Duty is this OpTic team, which, you know, seems to always be the case every year. There's at least one major OpTic story. But I wanted to show a couple of scrap clips here that were entertaining. So he was talking about this clip from the World Championship last year when Shotzzy gunned down Skyz in a 1v1. Actually, it wasn't a 1v1, but it was a 1v1 gunfight win. Skyz obviously got slammed and Shotzzy let him know about it. Scrap found this all rather entertaining. But I thought this clip was interesting about how, as Scrap says, you guys be forgetting about who Kenny was, kind of similar to the tweet we saw from Drazah earlier on today. Some people are making these last couple of months overshadow his whole career. That's a bit weird. I mean, look, clearly he's not been good for the last couple of months. Doesn't take away from the player that Kenny has been. And I think that's maybe why OpTic decided to give him as much leeway as they did, just because, you know, people know how impactful Kenny has been, and potentially will continue to be to championship winning squads. I think Scrappy knows that as well, right? Like, he's only been around in the CDL a couple of years, but he's had his fair few battles with Kenny that have not always gone to plan. So players that are in the scene know how valuable Kenny is, and it's a reason why OpTic were hesitant, let's say, to make the decision. Had it been a lesser player with maybe, you know, lesser talent, but also fewer trophies in his trophy cabinet at home, I think Kenny's performances would have got him dropped a lot sooner than this. As we've said for some time, it became pretty untenable what was happening as of late, but it's understandable, I think, why they've made the decision as they have at this particular moment. But intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Again, as many people are talking about right now, where does Kenny go next? Because, you know, a return to OpTic is, I wouldn't ever entirely rule it out. I mean, I think many of us thought that there was no way Priestahh was ever coming back to OpTic after all the drama that happened back in December. But of course, Hex made it clear on a podcast at one point that the door is never closed. And if the circumstances transpire in the way that OpTic would hope for, then it's possible that Priestahh returns. And that's exactly what has happened, despite the fact that there was a time where Shotzzy said it wasn't going to be happening. So the door's never going to be closed to a player like Kenny. But do I think he's ever going to compete for OpTic again? I think it's pretty unlikely. So which organisation could he go to next? Like, is he going to go to Thieves or to FaZe? It's probably not going to be happening either. He could sit out the season, wait for next year. That's an option. I mean, maybe if OpTic have a really tough season, but the thing is, they're not going to pick Kenny back up again before he has a better stint. See what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's impossible that Kenny could return to OpTic, but I think Kenny will need to come back to another team and play substantially better and maybe make another finals or something with a different team. And then if OpTic, you know, feel like they need a player like Kenny again, and whatever's been going on outside of the game, which presumably has been affecting his play as well, based on some of the tweets we saw yesterday, maybe at that point he could come back. But I think it's pretty doubtful. We've mentioned a couple of orgs that could make sense. I know people are also going to say Rocker, right? Because, you know, PaulX has been their weakest link, I would probably argue, so far this season. Estriel's been really good. Nero and Geo is also, you know, they've been pretty up and down lately as well. But if Rocker suck at the major, if they bomb out top 12 losing to OpTic, you know, a Kenny for PaulX move, I think makes some sense. It's just, if I'm Kenny, am I wanting to go to Minnesota Rocker? Probably not. If I'm Kenny, I'm probably thinking that a better opportunity is going to come along. Kind of what happened with Slasher, right? Like, after last year, going off Boston Breach, I don't think many would have expected Slasher to be able to put together a team that was capable. I mean, they're third in the league right now, Ravens, and comfortably third at that. And, you know, the team with TJ and Gwinn and Vivid, they've been looking really solid so far. And the fact that Slasher got the opportunity to go there and form the team that they have done has been very impressive. So I think Kenny will look to do something similar, maybe an organisation that has more money to spend. That's an argument as well. But very much enjoyed to your thoughts on all of this stuff in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care. And I'll see you next time.
Oh my god, he's weak, run him!
It's just Drazah! Why are you aping?
I can't scream the shit
Oh my
weak,
god,
dude.
One more hot week, man.
It's just Drazah! Move!
Bro, hell no.
This guy going to do it.
Oh my god, let me have my one of these, bro. I'm getting my auto
They're aiming the fuck out of it!
What saves?
He went out.
I did not go out of. It's Drazah! He's looking for the back! He's won!
They're back.
Dead!
Nah, hide if you're not gonna call out.
Dead!
They're front, bro.
At the back, get this time. Drazah dead! Skyz, left!
Wait, winnable. Winnable, bro.
He's so jiggles.
All front.
I think that's dead! AP, baby, dead!
I actually want calm, bro.
Oh my god.
I go.
Oh, I'm getting hostage.
It's just draws!
Yo, that was a dirty break, bro. I'm scamming.
It's just draws!
Yeah, we're scamming.
Shut the fuck up. Wait, you're doing some late play, like. Fuck it. It just draws!
He actually didn't use that.
Look what I have, look what I have.
What do you have?
Oh my god, I had him hostage! They're both there. Wait, who's gonna ape the back?
Envoy.
Is AG?
Oh man, I should have took you hostage, bro.
He always takes a route. He always takes a route.
Wait, how'd you actually do that? I'm not even trolling.
Do what?
How'd you like knife him like that when you didn't have a knife?
I don't know what you're talking about, I'll be honest.
Stay back.
Hide, block. Yeah, good job. I bumped myself.
Go your front.